Does religion destroy cognitive thinking? Indeed it does. Especially when those who are confused to think that they can be religious and spiritual at the same time. They don't work well together. You see, religion comes from the word religio, religare, which means to bind. It means to bond in reverence. It means to basically be subjugated to the doctrine of those who are in charge of the religion. Now, many people will say, well, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, but I'm following a religion. Well, that just doesn't work. You see, spiritual means the blowing out. It means the breath. And if you truly want to understand how to be spiritual, then you have to understand how the breath works. You see, the breath works that when you breathe in, you take in the oxygen. That oxygen circulates and takes care of the body. But religion says to bond and hold and keep it together. And so you hold that breath. But as you know, the longer you hold that breath, the more toxins build up in your body. The lactic acid starts building up. Your chest begins to burn because you have to let it go. You see, in the Sanskrit, they call that the prana and the nirvana. The breathing in and the breathing out. And there's heaven in that nirvana. It is the letting go of that brings you into that perfect peace. As a former Marine, when we fire our weapons, the perfect time to fire it is at the breathing out point, the end of that breathing out. But if you're religious, religare, then you want to bond, you want to hold tight to your doctrine. Of the many doctrines that are in play, you want to hold tight to it. But if you understand spirituality, you let it go. They say that if you love someone, the best way to know is to let them go. And if they're meant for you, they'll come back to you. If you truly want to know yourself and know this universe, let go of your doctrines, let go of your religions, and watch how that universal energy comes back to you. Pristine, clean. And it only matters how it comes to you. When you are forced to bind with somebody else. And many of you say, well, I was not forced. I discovered God on my own. Really, did you? You were surrounded by people who taught God in one way. Your parents taught God in one way. You never really did it on your own. You did it based on your surroundings. And even if you changed, I went to prison, I discovered Islam, and it saved my life. I went to prison, I discovered Jesus, and it saved my life. I was out here in these streets, and then I walked into a church, and it saved my life. I'm glad your life was saved, but you saved your life. No one else. You did.